Hello snowboarders of the internet, I'm your host Avran LeFeber, and in this video we're going to be reviewing the Kemper SR, or Surf Rider as it's known, a new board for 2022. This board features Kemper's camber with early rise, so you get rocker in the nose and a set back camber. So when you weight the camber, it activates the rocker, giving you more optimal powder float and ease of entry in and out of turns. But you keep that pop in the back seat, so you're still going to get snap, power, and drive from that camber as well. This board is available in 155 and 158. I rode this board at Arapahoe Basin on an overcast, cooler day, moderate to high winds. There was fresh snow ranging from 2 inches to mid-thigh, depending on how the wind loaded it. Underneath there would be chunder, ice, heavy pow. The groomers were firm and fast, and I rode it with my Rome Black Label bindings and my K2 Thraxis boots. So clearly this board has a directional all-mountain free ride flex to it, and that's how it's going to be. So you got softer nose that progressively stiffens back up to the tail with a moderate amount of torsional flex. Now this board is very lively, so at high speeds you start to get a lot of chatter, and that resonates back underfoot. With that setback camber, when you get into rutted out choppy terrain and you're just trying to plow through everything, it starts to get bucked around. You're putting so much load into that, you're taking all that hit with everything to it. It's a highly lively board that's slightly reactive. It's not the most damp thing out there. With that setback camber, all your pop comes from your back foot. So when you load it up, that's where it's going to come from. It's not coming from the center of the board. It's just reacting from about the center back through the tail. Now, as it's loaded up, you're going to notice as you unload it and go to pop, there's a slight delayed reaction. It makes it a little bit more calculated. You start to realize when you're hitting side hits, cat track gaps, pow poppers, whatever, that delay makes you anticipate how you're going to hit everything. It's not a bad thing. It's just how it is with it being under that rear foot where all your snap comes from. And the more you put in, the more you're going to get out of it. Obviously, with this board being directional and having setback camber, the nose is going to be the most buttery on this board. It's softer, you got that rocker out there. So with that said, how is it to actually butter? Well, here's the thing. You're going to spend some time until you learn its nuances of how to engage that rocker zone and really press into it, because with that offset camber, it fights you in a weird position so that it's pulling you back down, but it's not centered. So what you want to do is figure out how you're going to balance your weight on it. Otherwise, it's pretty easy to butter on the nose. With the tail, high speed wheelies, you got more snap and pop out of anything. When you go sideways, you're going to feel it want to rebound right out of it. Be aware of that. It's not a big thing. Personally, find a little bit of steeper terrain with some fresh snow. You'll probably have fun on a firm, flat groomer. It's not the most ideal. This isn't the most hard carving board. It's a little bit laid back with its turn initiation. You got that rocker in there, so it's elevating that contact point. Realistically, you pretty much steer it from inside the feet through the tail. That's where you're going to get all your power and drive just with the way the camber is set back on there. It's good for medium mellow carves, tight quick setup turns, but if you need to lay it over, you can. Just be aware that your front foot's going to be disengaged. You're pretty much steering from inside that front foot back through the tail, so you're going to really roop out a carve with that. As I've said before, this is kind of a surfy board, so it's a little bit lacking with its edge hold. You can feel it kind of kick out depending on the conditions, but if you're trying to do like spray carves where you come in and then you kick it out, it's fine. It's not locked in as other boards in this category. Overall, it's not a bad board for turning on. It just has some limitations. Who's this board for? The surfy, pow chasing kind of carver guy. Overall, it's one of those carvy cruiser resort boards. It's got power when you absolutely demand it, but 95% of the time, it's laid back, it's nuanced. You can just sort of do what you need to do with it. What's nice is you got that power from that rear camber zone, and that's really where you steer it, and it helps engage that rocker in the nose and get that float in deeper snow. It's a fun board for what it is. Is it mind-blowing? No. Is it the best thing I've ever ridden? No. Is it just another board in that category? Yeah, kinda. That's realistically it. I mean, if you love retro graphics, then you got that with Kemper, but otherwise, you know, it's a middle of the pack type of deck. Comparable boards: the Rome Stale Cruiser, the Marhar Sasquatch, the GNU Hyper. Binding recommendations, the Rome Katana, the K2 lineup, the Bent Metal Transfer. This has been my review of the Kemper SR. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you own one? Are you going to buy one? Leave me a comment down below. Let's have a conversation about this snowboard. If you're new here, remember to subscribe, click the bell, get those notifications. That way you're not missing any of the videos we got coming out for all you snowboarders of the internet. And if you really like what we're doing over here and you want to support us, swing on over to Angry Snowboarder VIP and become a member. Sure, I could tell you more here, but I got a video over there that explains it so much better. As always, I've been your host, Avran LeFeber, and I'll see you in another video.